I'd like to welcome you to this celebration of the opening of the Line-Moynihan connector. I'm proud to be here along with our partners at Brookfield and at the Empire State Development Corporation. You know, big ideas and impossible dreams have always been part of the Highline story. Coming out of 9/11, the Highline helped inspire people to dream again. Big ideas alone aren't rare, but big ideas that get the backing of visionary people are. Big ideas that can stay on budget and keep a timeline of less than 2 years with government, private enterprise, and a not-for-profit working together is even more rare. But it isn't surprising to us that all of these groups rallied around this project because we see the Highline as a connector of communities, of physical spaces, of art and culture. People have always been inspired by and rallied around the Highline since Robbie and Josh started this project 25 years ago. Together, we created a park in the sky. Together, we've created a more livable and connected community, and together, we will steward this dynamic public park into the future. None of this would have been possible without the extraordinary champions who came together since 2021 to raise over $117 million for the Highline Essential Bridge Fund that not only made this connector possible, but also supports the greater capital needs of our beloved public space. I'd like to recognize the leaders of this effort, Jane Lauder and the Donald A. Pels Charitable Trust. There are over 30 supporters integral to this effort, so I urge you to take a look at the screens by the bar, which acknowledge each of them by name. Please give a huge round of applause to our Essential Bridge Fund campaign supporters. I'd also like to mention a few of my Highline board colleagues for getting behind this project, especially John Alschuler, who developed our connection strategy, and Phil Ahrens and Cheryl Cohen-Efron, who lead our planning committee. We also wouldn't be here today without the support of Governor Kathy Hochul, who's been a champion of the connector and many other visionary ideas in our city and state. She's the kind of dedicated leader who understands the importance of a project like this, and her endorsement allowed us the opportunity to connect some of the city's greatest assets, in turn supporting tourism and the economy. Today, the opening of the Line-Moynihan connector is in service of our commitment to you, our Highline community. Thank you again to everyone for being here to mark this exciting moment in New York City history.
Please welcome Highline Executive Director, Alan Van Capel.
Good morning. No. Good morning. I feel like Chuck Schumer. It's a good day for New York. I'm Alan Van Capel. I'm the Highline's new executive director, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. It seems like every day there is a story written about the downfall of our beloved New York. Many people feel that our best days are behind us. They say we don't do big things anymore. They say life has just gotten too hard. The city is over. Well, I don't believe this could be less true, and this connector is proof of that. We are thriving, and like all New Yorkers, we refuse to take no for an answer. For years, our neighbors in our community have talked with us about how unsafe, inaccessible, unwelcoming the streets around the Lincoln Tunnel have been. And I always joked that the only good thing to ever happen on Dyer Avenue is that I married my husband, Matt Morningstar, who's here today. But that's not true anymore. Something else good happened on Dyer Avenue. The connector is an answer to that problem, a green, welcoming, safe, accessible space, an inspiring way to knit neighborhoods together. And it's done in a tri-sector approach. Just think about this. Private enterprise, government, city and state, and a non-for-profit coming together to do big things. That's how we solve challenges in our city. Not one entity could do it by themselves. We have to come together and do big things, and that's exactly what happened with this connector. On time and on budget, and let's give a round of applause for that. It is truly impressive to complete this massive undertaking in such a short amount of time, and that can only be done as part of a larger team effort. And I want to thank the design team at SOM and James Cornerfield Operations and our partners at Turner Constructions and AECom for all of their hard work. Now, there is a lot of credit that needs to be given today, and it is my job to make sure we give out that credit. And so I would like to thank our Board Chair, Mario Palumbo, our Vice Chair, Sue Veneer, and our Board of Directors for all they do to help steward the extraordinary public asset that is the High Line. And I know, yes, you can applaud them, and I know that the board thanks me. I know that the board joins me in thanking. Yes, the board thanks me too. By the way, the best job in the world. I arrived 6 months ago and I get all the credit and get to cut a ribbon. This is like the best job in the world. But truthfully, let's give a round of applause for Hope Knight and our partners at ESD. Ben Brown, Sabrina Canner, and the entire Brookfield team, an amazing group of people to partner with on this project. Rick Cotton, Steve Platt, Tom O'Mia, Jerry Lindenmeyer, and everyone at Port Authority, Commissioner Adonis Rodriguez, Ed Pinkar, and the entire New York City Department of Transportation team, thank you, thank you, thank you for what you have done. And we are so honored to have so many elected officials in our corner. First of all, Mayor Eric Adams, Deputy Mayor Meera Joshi, New York State Senator Brad Hoylman Siegel, our Deputy Manhattan Borough President Keisha Sutton James, a force of nature, Parks Commissioner Sue Donahue, and all of the New York City Park staff who partner with us to maintain and operate and program the High Line for our visitors free of charge. So thank you to the entire team at Parks. And our council member who is the most fun to follow on social media, and it feels like I play a game every time I see him. It's like, where in the world is Eric Botcher today? He seems to have 5 of them, and they're every place. Thank you, Councilman Botcher, for everything you've done for this community. And for their support of the High Line and the connector, I would also like to acknowledge our Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, United States Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, Congressman Dan Goldman, Congressman Jerry Nadler, Assembly members Tony Simone, Deborah Glick, and I see who are in session today, which is why they're not here, but I do see our retired Assembly member, Dick Godfrey. Dick, thank you for always being there for the High Line. Manhattan Borough President Mark Levine, our former Borough President, a real champion of the High Line, and a current City Council member, Gail Brewer. Chaplain Ingrid Lewis Martin, Chief Advisor to the Mayor, and our wonderful members of Community Boards 4 and 2 who make this neighborhood run. Thank you so much. And we're also thankful to our neighbors and local businesses on consulting and the planning for this connector, our partners at NYCHA and at Penn South, our Neighbors Council, our volunteers, the meatpacking bid. I see Jeffrey LeFrancois here today. Thank you all. And thank you, a special thank you, to our High Line dreamers and founders, Robert Hammond and Joshua David, 2 very difficult people to choose to step into. They're right here, so let's give them a round of applause. I teach a class at NYU, and one of the sessions is not to follow the founders. I'm not following my own advice on this, but if you were going to ever follow founders, these are the ones to follow. And the High Line's Senior Director of Planning, Design, and Construction, he led this for us, Patrick Hazari. Let's give Patrick a round of applause. More than anything else, what we are going to do today, is a gift to this city. It is a gift to this city. It's a way to welcome New Yorkers back to work. It's a way to welcome this city back from a slumber. When you go from Brookfield West onto that timber bridge, as you'll do later today, something's going to happen to you. Your shoulders are going to come down a little bit. You're suddenly going to breathe a little better. You're going to experience something when you start walking on that woodland bridge and then come to this spur to be greeted by Pamela Rosenkrantz's old tree. It's going to remind you why we choose to live in this city, why New York is the greatest city in the greatest country this world has ever known. And today, we all get to be a part of the reason why. Thank you again for being here.
And now please welcome Hope Knight, President and CEO, Empire State Development.
So good morning. Today is a great day for New York and an important one for the West Side. For New York, this ribbon cutting demonstrates the value of public-private partnerships. And under Governor Kathy Hochul's leadership, ESD, together with our partners, Friends of the High Line, Brookfield, and the Port Authority, saw a need to enhance public access, connectivity, and pedestrian safety here. This is where three great anchors of the West Side reside: the High Line, Moynihan Train Hall, and Hudson Yards. Leveraging public and private support, we're committed to improving the area's public realm. ESD support for this project will spur additional investment in the area and expand local and statewide economies. Tourism is an important industry for New York's economy. So for visitors, residents, or folks just simply looking for respite and recreation, this is a welcome addition to the list of Manhattan's must-see milestones. For the West Side, the High Line Moynihan Connector creates a seamless, pedestrian-friendly path uniting all aspects of the area's progress. And in recent decades, the West Side has been transformed by public and private investments. The state was an integral force behind Hudson River Park, the Javits Convention Center expansion, and Moynihan Train Hall. And we're focused on making progress on the revitalization of Penn Station and the surrounding neighborhood. Our action here on the West Side is the result of Governor Hochul's strong leadership and our thoughtful community collaboration. I want to thank the entire team at ESD who were integral to the creation of this project. And I want to congratulate everyone involved. Thank you.
Please welcome Ben Brown, Managing Partner, Brookfield.
Good morning. Thank you. And I want to start by thanking all of you for being here, because all of us at Brookfield couldn't be more excited, maybe not quite as excited as Alan, because I don't know that any of us have that sort of energy, but more excited to see this happen. And it's really special to share it with all of you. So thank you guys for coming out and supporting this and seeing this. It's a special day for the city. It's a special day for the neighborhood, and it's a special day for everyone at Brookfield as an organization. So thank you. You know, the High Line Moynihan Connector is a major transportation advancement for New York City and a pivotal milestone in the evolution of Manhattan's newest neighborhood. Not only does it bridge communities, but it connects and expands some of New York City's most exciting public open spaces in the High Line and at our Manhattan West Plaza. Simply put, given the opportunity and all the public and private investment in the area, this was a project that just made sense. But the world would be too simple of a place if things that just made sense happened. And so something like this requires state leadership, city cooperation, commercial participation, nonprofit collaboration, design, engineering, and construction partners, public, private, and philanthropic dollars, an agreement by all of those parties on a plan, and then the backbone and coordination by all of them to make it happen and see it through. So making sense is usually not enough, and yet here we are. This is a defining example of an innovative and collaborative public and private partnership. So I want to start by saying thank you first and foremost to Governor Hochul, Hope Knight, and ESD. This is what effective civic leadership looks like. Thank you to Rick Cotton, Steve Plate, and the Port Authority. Thank you to Mayor Adams and Commissioner Donahue, Josh David, Robbie Hammond, Mario Palumbo, Alan Van Capel, and the entire Highline team. Yet again, you've demonstrated not only an uncommon vision, but an even more uncommon capacity to see it realized. Our design and construction partners, SOM, Field Operations, Turner and AECOM, Senator Hoylman, Councilmember Botcher, Community Board 4, which has shown time and time again what thoughtful and effective community representation and engagement looks like during the entire time we've worked with them while creating Manhattan West. And finally, thank you to my Brookfield colleagues, Henry Queso, John Dershinger, Diana Zakum, Noah Daniels, Ernesto Bacalzo, and Tech Park. And lastly, and importantly, Sabrina Canner, Brookfield's head of Development, Design, and Construction. Sabrina, I don't know where Sabrina is, but if she can put her hand up, I'm going to embarrass you. Sabrina's somewhere. There she is. Sabrina is retiring at the end of the year after a stunning decades-long career at Brookfield and in our industry. And if you really want to understand the significance of her leadership and the magnitude of her influence, you wouldn't look only at projects like this or Manhattan West or Brookfield Place, or in fact, any of the major developments she's led in cities around the world. You talk to anyone who has ever worked for or with her, many of you are here, and you would get a picture of just how thoughtful, talented, and effective a designer, builder, mentor, leader, and collaborator she's been. So to her and to everyone who's contributed to this transformative project, thank you and congratulations.
Please welcome Deputy Mayor Meera Joshi.
Good morning, and thank you to the Highline, thank you to Alan, and thank you for everyone who brought us to this day. I am Deputy Mayor of Operations and in charge of infrastructure for New York City. So in my line of work, we have a lot of beginnings and we have a lot of ends. And it's very rare that I get the beginning and the end. So this is truly a great day. About 18 months ago, I stood, I think, somewhere over there, and it was a lot colder, and we did a groundbreaking. And now, what feels like a nanosecond later, but apparently it's not, but in a very short amount of time, we're back to actually cut a ribbon. And for anyone who works in infrastructure, that rarely happens. So I want to celebrate this moment for the speed with which you have brought more public space to so many at a time when we all recognize the need, and we know that this space will be crowded the moment it is open. So thank you on behalf of all of New York. Thank you for the work that went into the speed and to the ability to show everyone that we can get stuff done for New York. I want to also shout out Parks and DOT, two agencies that work tirelessly with private entities, with other agencies, with the public to make sure that all of the detail and all of the coordination that's necessary to have stuff built in New York City happens in a way that many of us don't see. But behind all of that is the men and women at Parks and DOT. And I really appreciate the work that they do and the cooperation that they show on behalf of the entire city. And this really is about connections. And I think it is, it brings the connections of those that are traveling by train in the train station to the public space that is New York City. More public space in New York City means more people connect with each other, and they connect with all of the surrounds around you. And I have to point out, because it always strikes me when I'm up here, the beauty of the contrast that you see when you're here. You look at greenery, you look at bright art, you look at concrete and steel. things that you'd never think should all be together, and yet they're neighbors. They coexist in a way that only happens in New York City and is only highlighted when you're standing on the High Line. So thank you very much. I couldn't be happier to be here. There's a deep sense of satisfaction to be at both a shoveling and a ribbon cutting that really is rare and is truly a New York moment for all of us. Thank you, and on behalf of Mayor Adams, thank you all for your support and obviously for your attendance, as I know all of you will, and I'll be joining you as we walk up and down the High Line this summer. Thank you.
Please welcome State Senator Brad Hoylman-Siegel.
Thank you so much. State Senator Brad Hoylman-Siegel, so proud to represent the west side of Manhattan from Christopher Street all the way up to West 103. And it's really wonderful to see Alan here with his husband and his two boys and continuing the leadership of the High Line with Josh and Robbie. And happy Pride, everyone. And from now on, I'm just going to refer to Josh and Robbie as the founders. The founders. Because, you know, we would not be here today. And I look at this amazing neon Rosencrantz sculpture, and it really does embody the High Line in a way that I think is representative of the work. I mean, the fact that the branches reach out to so many different parts of our community, including our public housing and our settlement houses and our community board and our block associations and local stakeholders, including real estate developers and small businesses, has been a virtuous circle that I think is amazing to the world to behold. So congratulations also on making pedestrian access a reality for so many folks, thank you, who travel through this corridor, including me and formerly Dick, on our way to Albany. But I think another point that has to be made, and it's a credit to Hope Knight and the team at ESD, James Katz and Terrence Cho, who worked on this project and partnered with the city of New York. The fact that the city and the state are working hand in glove is a revelation and so important to the future of our great city. So thank you, council member, for your support and your predecessor. Thank you to Gifford Miller and Christine Quinn, who launched the High Line from the component of government along with Mike Bloomberg. And thanks to the Adams administration for continuing this effort and making certain that millions of New Yorkers will benefit from this new access point in the years to come. Thank you.
Please welcome Deputy Manhattan Borough President Keisha Sutton-James.
Good morning, everyone. I want a real good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. I had to do it was you, Alan, that did that. Yes, we've got to get a real good morning. This is super exciting, so let's get our energy where it should be. Alan, I should say, by the way, I have the best job because I get to do 90% of what my boss, Mark Levine, does, and I didn't have to run for office, raise money, all the things that you guys did. I didn't have to do any of that. So I one-upped you on the best job in the world. I am delighted to be here with all of you this morning in my boss's stead. Mark Levine, borough president, unfortunately could not be with us this morning, but I get to be here with each of you to give thanks. Not only, let me start by giving thanks to everyone who has made this, or not everyone, many of the people who have made this possible. I'll start obviously with Mario Palumbo and Alan Van Capel, who got to step in 6 months ago. Hope Knight, the governor, obviously, who has been acknowledged and appropriately so for having the vision and getting this ball rolling, as they say. Ben Brown, thank you so much to you and the entire Brookfield team. I want to, of course, thank and acknowledge the presence of our commissioners of both DOT and Parks who are here with us and who have been so effective in pushing this mission along. I don't see Jeffrey LeFrancois, but I know there he is. I was like, he's got to be right in front of me somewhere. Community Board 4 and 2. But Jeffrey, you've done so much. Coming from the Borough President's office, I see firsthand all the work that you do and all the board meetings and all the borough board meetings. So I want to thank you as well. There are so many people who have made this moment possible. So I can't thank everyone, but I will shift and pivot just a little bit to say, how exciting is it that we have created more outdoor space? We have flora and trees that otherwise would not be in this space, in what otherwise, as you referenced, was really a hotbed of pollution, as much of our city has been over the years, that we have brought greenery and more outdoor space that now tourists and commuters alike can get off of the Amtrak, off of the LIR, off the subway, and come directly into outdoor space. We have used sustainable wood to create this space. We've connected multiple communities, and I will also, of course, lift up, as everyone has already, lift up the fact that it was the connection of city, state, not-for-profit, and private, participants, if you will, that brought everything together to make this possible. And so I want to thank you all for everything that you've done on behalf of the Borough President to make this happen. I can't wait to get my kids out here this summer. And lastly, I just want to know what I need to do to get one of these fancy pins. I love them. I'm not joking. I'm going to be blinging out my Borough President's jacket with buttons and pins, so I need to know what I need to do to get one of the pins. Do I have to join the board, or is that possible? I don't know. Please get me a pin, somebody. I think all the speakers deserve pins. Can we start a campaign for that? Thank you, everybody. With that, thank you so much for having me, allowing me to say a couple of remarks.
Please welcome New York City Parks Commissioner Sue Donahue.
Good morning, everyone. It is so great to be here today at the brand new Moynihan connector to the High Line. The High Line, Moynihan Train Hall, and now the connector have absolutely transformed and revitalized the west side of Manhattan. This gorgeous infrastructure project is also an extraordinary example of an exemplary public-private partnership. So first, I want to acknowledge the groups that came together to make this possible: public, private, and not-for-profit. The Empire State Development, Brookfield Properties, and of course the Friends of the High Line. I want to thank Mario and Alan and their predecessors, and Josh and Robbie. A legacy that has been created here and that continues to expand is truly enormous and incredible. I also want to thank and recognize our sister agencies here in New York City: the Department of Buildings, the Department of Transportation, the Department of City Planning, and the City Law Department. It certainly takes an awful lot to get to this point, but partnership and collaboration are a key part of the stewardship of parks and green spaces here in New York City. Our partners truly make us stronger, and they reshape our parks for the better. Their care and investment are reflected in the parks that New Yorkers get to visit every day. And the High Line is an incredible example of that. The High Line allows people to experience amazing views, beautiful art, and engaging programming. And it really brings together people from all walks of life, from all over the world, to share this beautiful space. And in fact, the same thing can be said now about the Moynihan Train Hall. These beautiful places play host to thousands of people passing through or taking a moment to rest and relax every single day. And this connector is really so beautiful. And I'm especially excited about the 63 new trees on this bridge, the new shrubs and grasses planted on the Woodland Bridge, As we know, trees are the lungs of our great city, and I'm so happy to see our urban forest grow alongside the High Line. Thank you all. Thank you for the great work and partnership, and congratulations to you all again on this momentous occasion.
Please welcome New York City Council member Eric Botcher.
How cool is this, huh? I feel so fortunate to be here for the unveiling of this new New York City landmark that's going to be here for generations and generations of New Yorkers and people all around the world to enjoy. I want to thank everyone who helped make this possible, my colleagues. I want to thank my friend Mario and everyone on the board. We are so lucky to live in New York City, aren't we? There's something about New York City, it makes you feel like king of the world, like this is our city, like we own this city. But the truth is that we are stewards of this city. We're just stewards of this city. We inherited this city from previous generations, and we're going to pass it along to future generations. And it's our responsibility while we're here to cherish it, to care for it, to improve it, to make it better. And that's what we're doing here today. And you have my commitment as the local city council member to continue supporting and investing in the High Line. And I, for one, would like to see the High Line continue further north. Am I right? So thanks to everyone who made this possible. It's a great, great day for New York City.
And now we welcome back to the stage Alan Van Capel.
Thanks to all of our speakers. You know, as it's been said earlier, this remarkable achievement would not have been possible without the leadership of our great governor, Kathy Hochul. Delivering the connector took real urgency, but it also took resources. And it took true collaboration between the state and the city, the public and the private sector. And this governor, our governor, set the tone for that partnership. She delivered the funding, she kept our teams working together, and we got this done. So please join me in welcoming our governor, Kathy Hochul. Congratulations, Governor.
This is
Welcome.
fabulous.
Welcome.
What a great day. Oh, good morning. Hello, New York. Oh, we have arrived. This puts us a little bit closer to heaven, which is what I know all New Yorkers strive for, right? Yeah. Just an inside joke there about our behavior. Hey, we enjoy life, right? We're New Yorkers. And I'm so proud to be here, to be able to get this over the finish line, and to thank the leaders of the true believers, the people who thought that this could happen despite all the obstacles, years of work, a pandemic, a recession, and people said, no, we can do this. To me, that is reflective of the indomitable spirit of New York at its finest. So I want to thank people like Dick Gottfried is here. Where's Dick? Dick, raise your hand. Where is Dick? Dick, stand up, Dick. Our assembly member for many years, 50 years, I believe, and he made sure that this happened. Our Senator Brad Hoylman, I want to thank Brad for his support as well. Eric Botcher, thank you for helping this get over the finish line. Also support from the Port Authority, Rick Cotton. Stand up, Rick Cotton. Thank you for saying yes every time I ask. And I know I ask a lot, okay? We'll talk about that later. Just remember, yes, okay. Mario Palumbo, the chair of the Friends of the High Line. Thank you, Mario. And of course, Alan Van Capel, thank you. I know there's other electeds. I don't know if anybody else has arrived, but if you do, welcome. I've been waiting for this. Many of you don't know this, but I wander through the city incognito all the time. So that is me in a baseball cap. Depending on whether it's football season or baseball season, you may see a team or you may not. I'm not going to disclose anything here. But I put on a pair of jeans, sneakers, a baseball cap, and I wander. And so often, my heart brings me to this place, to the High Line, where I can showcase to my friends and family, others from out of town, how incredible New York is. And at a time when people are questioning the viabilities of our urban areas, and you see article after article saying, our city's on decline. Today we answer with the resounding, not here in New York. We are rising. New York is absolutely rising. And we are rising up to the heavens with this project, 20 feet in the air. Now, people say, New Yorkers look down on people. Well, yes, we do. From this vantage point, we are looking down on the rest of the world, okay? In a good way, we look down on people. So this showcases the natural beauty, the plantings, how magnificent are they, the streetscapes, a chance to see from a different vantage point how magnificent this city is. And it's also a testament to our resilience. We always build during the toughest times. Think back to the Great Depression. That's when our skyscrapers and our bridges were going up. We didn't go into a hole and lament the circumstance. We rose up. After 9/11, my God, we have the opportunity now to build thousands of units of housing down there, bringing back a community that was all once a commercial district, a financial district, and now we're saying, let's let people live there. It's extraordinary. And to have this connection, and I thank our partners again. Brookfield, thank you so much for stepping up with the resources. Thank you, thank you, thank you. $20 million, state $20 million, the Friends of the High Lines, $10 million. And guess what? My favorite words, we're actually under budget, okay? How often does that happen? It is that partnership of true believers who said we have to make this happen. And Eric, I agree with you. We're not done yet. As long as I'm governor, we're going to continue everywhere we can to create public spaces. People can stroll here. Senior citizens with their walkers have a place to get some fresh air. Moms and dads pushing strollers with babies. This is where we want people to come. And I think there's going to be a lot of proposals right in front of this interesting tree. What a backdrop. I can see people coming here, getting down on their knees and saying, will you spend the rest of your life with me? Because this is a place of romantic. Romantics are attracted here, and this is a statement of what New York is all about. It's a city you can't help but love. So am I enthusiastic? I sure am. I could not be prouder to see what we've accomplished here today, the chance to be able to go over these bridges, these connections, and I'm going to make sure that we continue every opportunity we have to showcase all that is great and unique and fascinating about New York City, and to the rest of the world, come on and visit, and if you want to, come on and live here. We will make everybody a New Yorker in time, because if you understand what we're all about, that sense of possibility, we are undaunted, we are resilient, and again, it's that indomitable spirit that'll always characterize New Yorkers, whether it's our people, our places, or how we approach all of our challenges in life. So it is a fantastic day here in the state of New York. Could not be happier to be here. Look forward to walking across the bridge. I'm sure it's really stable. We're going to be good, right, everybody? Engineers have checked it out. I need a lot of nodding heads on that. We're good. Okay. So I look forward to the inaugural walk. Let's make that happen. And again, thank you to everyone who never stopped believing. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you, Governor Hochul. Let's give her another round of applause. Okay, so here's the fun part. This concludes the ceremony. Right now, I'd like to invite the speakers of the program to join us for a short walk and a photo as we go cut the ribbon. Everybody else, the bars are open, the food is open, and we'll come back and be with you in just a few moments. Get up, mingle, network, enjoy. Thank you so much.